Welcome to another day of PALS TV. Been having a lot of fun this week, doing all kinds of different activities and games and programs. We'll continue to build off of that with a variety of topics today as well. We have a lot of fun things planned throughout the day. We're going to be obviously starting our day off again in Steubenville with our tour with Amanda, then heading over to Heath and doing some gardening classes with Together We Grow. After that, we will head over to Harrison and play some bingo again. That was been a lot of fun this week, and we'll continue to break it up with different games and educational activities for you, and a lot of just a fun variety of topics. So finishing out the day, we'll do some springtime drawing over at AOTL, and then video games with Gary, and finally finishing the day over in Columbus and cooking with Phil. So should be a lot of fun today. We're looking forward to it. Again, any
Hi, everyone. So we're going to keep going through the Smithsonian today. So we are actually up on the second floor now. So we've got a lot more bones to check out, and these are going to be more animals that you are more familiar with. So let's head on upstairs to the second floor into the Hall of Bones. And here we are up here. Guess it would help if I shared my screen with you, huh? Hold on a minute, guys. Share. There we go. Can everyone see me now? Or see my screen, I should say. So we are up on the second floor in the Hall of Bones. We've got a few different exhibits up in this area. So let's start at the beginning. We're going to start way up at the top. Why not? So first thing we see up here is a gray whale. I think that's only a partial skeleton because you can only see the head and some of the fins in the rib cage. I'm sure that definitely has some more skeleton to it because a gray whale is extremely large. Next to it, we have a La Plata dolphin. The extremely long beak, numerous teeth, you see all the teeth there, and flexible neck characterize the river dolphin. This species has the most teeth of any mammal, up to a total of 242 teeth. The species live in the tidal estuary of Rio de la Plata and the surrounding Atlantic coast of South America. Other river dolphins inhabit fresh waters of the Amazon, the Ganges, and the Yangtze. And there we got a river dolphin. Over here we have a harbor porpoise. Kind of looks like a dolphin, but it's not a dolphin. And it says short-beaked harbor porpoises are found in northern bays and inlets. Their teeth are spatulate, spoon-shaped, rather than the conical teeth of dolphins. So there you go, you see it, his vertebrae and his ribs, and can't see the fins because I believe harbor porpoises, their fins are made out of cartilage. And then up here we have the common dolphin, Delphinus delphis. These long-beaked dolphins are fast swimmers of the open seas. The long spines of the vertebrae support powerful muscles that propel the body up and down, pumping movements of the tail. So right here, you see the tail. That's where they'll flip their tail around. If you've ever gone to SeaWorld or the ocean, you might have seen a dolphin in the ocean. So now we're going to look at some of our exhibits down here. Right off the bat, right in front of us, we saw a giant one yesterday. These two things right here are sloths. They are what sloths shrunk down to. So we have a two-toed sloth. We have a three-toed sloth. We have a pangolin. If you look right here, it kind of shows you what a pangolin looks like. Kind of looks like an armadillo a little bit. And then over here, we have a giant anteater. That's this right here. We have a aardvark right here, an African aardvark. And we have a baby armadillo. and an adult armadillo. So we don't have many, any, to be quite honest, armadillos here in Ohio, but armadillos, if you see right here, it has the shell that they can curl it around themselves for protection against predators. All right, in our next exhibit, we have our lemurs. The three unrelated orders of mammals shown here have only a few living species. They have been difficult for taxonomists to classify because their members superficially resemble some more familiar groups. Close study of bones and teeth of the living and fossil species shows that the orders are distinct and long-standing. So we have a flying lemur here. See how they have their very long arms for holding on to the trees, very long legs for jumping. They have a tail for balance. So the primitive and highly specialized mammal of southeastern Asia, which is the flying lemur, is distantly related to the insectivores and bats. The skeleton is lightly built and the long, slender limbs support a sail-like furry membrane on which the animal glides from tree to tree like a flying squirrel. The front teeth are like a fine comb. So you can see a little bit of the teeth right there. They're very close together, small teeth. Then we have an African hyrax. They're classical conies of the Bible. They are not related to rabbits, but form a distinct order with skeletons vaguely suggesting those of elephants and rhinoceroses. So we might, maybe back in the day, these guys might have descended from rhinos and elephants of prehistoric times. The species lives in open rocky places. Other hyraxes climb readily on tree trunks and limbs in the forest. And down here, oh, this is easy enough. We have a cottontail rabbit and an Arctic hare. See, they're quite a bit bigger. An Arctic hare is bigger. It needs to be able to stay warm in the Arctic climate, so they're going to have bigger bodies to help keep them warm, whereas the cottontail, you know, we see those everywhere, even here in Ohio, so they don't have to work as hard as keep them warm. It's not quite so cold in Ohio. And then we have a pika, which is another very small breed of rabbit. So there is a picture of the entire exhibit. Next, we're going to head on over here to our bats and insectivores. So we have a pallid bat here. A mantis bat, I believe is what that says. We have a cave bat, a leaf bat, and a Samoan fruit bat. Man, that guy's big. And over here we have our vampire bat. The only mammals that truly fly, bats use their hands as wings, like the ribs of an umbrella. The slender fingers, bones, reinforce a thin membrane of skin which expands when in flight and at other times folds into a small space. When at rest, bats hang head down by their hind feet. Bats are commonest in the tropics and fly mainly at night. The small kinds catch insects on the wing. A few kinds drink blood from animals and others drink nectar from flowers, and the largest kinds eat fruit. So I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions. If you know the answer, raise your hand and we can get you unmuted so you can answer. Most bats, when they're sleeping, where are they at? What are they in when they're sleeping? Raise your hand if you know the answer.
In a cave.
Yes, that is correct. They are in a cave. That is right. Okay, so I have one more question. Whoever wants to answer it, raise your hand. So when bats, not rats, are trying to find insects to eat, what do they use when they're flying at night to help them find their prey and what they're going to eat? Does anyone know what they use? Okay, so the answer is sonar. They send waves of sound out. They make little clicking noises, and that's how they hear where the insects are, and then they can snatch them up out of the air to get their food. All right, so our next section down here is insectivores. So my next question is, does anybody know what an insectivore is? No, it's right there in the name, insectivore. What do you think they eat? So they eat insects. That's their main source of food, is insects. These primitive mammals may represent the ancestors of far more advanced primates, carnivores, and bats. The skeletons with 5-toed feet and cusped teeth are useful in chopping up the bodies of insects or other small animals for food. Present-day insectivores are small and are active mainly at night. So then we have our different types. We have a shrew right here. He's very small. And a mole, a tenrec, another shrew. This is an elephant shrew. Another mole, a hedgehog, and the solenodon. So I have a question for you guys now. Where do moles live? Does anyone know where the moles live? Okay, I see CJ knows the answer.
Under the ground.
Under the ground, that's right. They live in tunnels under the ground that they dig. Most people, when they have their fancy manicured yards, definitely see them as a pest because they tear up their sidewalks and their plants. All right, so there are insectivores. And we're going to check out some more rodents over here, what we can see. Do I have a camera here? I do have a camera. So let me pop up our camera. Maybe. My camera is not working. Okay, so we will scoot in. So we have a porcupine. These are porcupine-like rodents, excuse me. This is a capybara. So a capybara, it kind of looks like a giant guinea pig. It is a big guy. They weigh about 30 to 40 pounds. And we have some rats here, Norway rat, a mole rat. I'm not quite sure what this guy is here. Maybe another capybara, I'm not sure. We have a squirrel, an African flying squirrel. So we have a lot of different animals. A little bit about rodents. Rodents are the most abundant mammals. They are unusually small and have generalized skeletons, adapted for rapid four-footed motion. Some are modified for leaping, burrowing, or gliding. The thousands of kinds of rodents are classified into 3 major groups related to squirrels: the mice and the porcupines. The distinctive feature of rodent skulls is the presence of a single pair of gnawing incisor teeth, separated from rows of grinding or crushing cheek teeth by a broad space, the distema. There are no fang-like camel teeth. Now, I got a question for you guys. Give me a type of rodent that a lot of people keep as pets. What's a type of rodent a lot of people keep as pets?
Mice.
Mice, what's another one? Can someone give me another one? Pretty much every 8-year-old has had one in their life. Rats? Yeah, but I'm thinking they've got a real small tail. They like to stick things in their cheeks.
Squirrel.
No squirrels. That'd be cool to have a squirrel as a pet, though. I'll give one more guess. Anyone have a guess?
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig, that is one rodent people have as pets. I was thinking hamster, to be quite honest. Who here, raise your hand. Has anyone here had a pet hamster? No? Aw, missing out, man, you're missing out. All right, so we've been through all these. We got a few more over here. We're gonna check out our marsupials. Does anyone know what a marsupial is? Can someone tell me, give me an example of a marsupial? Okay.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo, that's right, very good. A kangaroo is a type of marsupial. Marsupial skeletons combine primitive and specialized features. Distinctive characteristics are the epipubic or marsupial bones on the pelvis supporting the abdominal wall. The small brain case reflecting the simple brain and the inward bent angle of the lower jaw. Except for one tooth in each jaw, the same teeth are retained throughout their life. So we lose our baby teeth. Kangaroos do not, with the exception of one tooth. In body and skeletal form, marsupials are nearly as varied as all the other orders of mammals combined. Through environmental adaptations, the marsupials have evolved into a variety of forms that parallel the placental bears, wolves, shrews, moles, rabbits, flying squirrels, anteaters, and sloths. So let's scoot in. Let's see what marsupials we have here. We have a brush-tailed possum, a great flying phalanger. I've never heard of that animal. We have a koala. There's our kangaroo. We have an Australian native cat. And it looks like down here, I'm not quite sure. Excuse me. All right. Now I got another trivia question for you about marsupials. The North America where we live, there is only one marsupial that we have that lives in North America. Can anyone tell me what that is? What's the one marsupial we have in North America? Okay, so the answer is an opossum. You ever see opossums on the road or they get into your trash? That is actually a marsupial. They have a pouch and they carry their babies, just like a kangaroo and all these other marsupials. All right, so now our last exhibit on this side are primates. So there is a human skeleton. It looks like we have a great ape there. Male and female great ape. We have an orangutan. And up here we have a chimpanzee. So we have a lot of different monkey skeletons right there. And we are going to head over to the second part of the hallway into Bones 2. All right, so let's just take a look around. Do a big circle here. I think this might have been the rest of our gray whale. It is. So the gray whale we saw earlier, some of it was cut off. Here is the entire skeleton of that gray whale when we first went into this hall that we saw. Told you he was big. And then, oh my goodness, what did I do? Oh no. Hold on, guys. I'm going to unshare my screen for just a minute. I'm not quite sure what I did. So I can get back in there. Bones 2. Okay. Now I can share my screen again. One, share. There we go, guys. I'm sorry. So let's head into Bones 2. That's where we are. So up here we have our flesh eaters, order carnivore. So we have hyenas and cats and civets and dogs, bears and raccoons. These are all considered carnivores. Carnivores, flesh eaters, are the most widely distributed of all mammals. Most kinds are active predators with limbs, claws, and teeth specialized for catching and killing other animals. The fang-like canine teeth are always present to penetrate and hold the prey. Farther back in the jaws, large shearing carnassial teeth are adapted for heavy cutting action. So here we have from our cat family. The shortened face and retractable sheath claws are characteristic features of this family. Except for great differences in size from house cat to lion, all cats are basically similar in the way they're shaped. Cats lie in ambush or steal up on their prey, then pounce upon it suddenly. But the cheetah, capable of speeds near 70 miles per hour, runs its victim down in an open chase. Let's see if we can find the cheetah. Cheetah, cheetah. So up here we have a tiger. We have a carbaca, a European wildcat, a civet. Right here is our cheetah. We have a hyena up here. They're from a different family though. Typical hyenas are scavenging carrion eaters with massive jaws and teeth for crushing large bones. The aardwolf with small degenerative teeth is specialized for eating termites. Interesting. I did not know that. Then we have dogs. We all know about dogs. And bears and raccoons. So let's zoom out here. I'm going to hit my camera button, and that will give you guys a closer view of everything. I guess not. Camera does not like us today. We'll just go ahead and zoom in, and I'll scroll over slowly. Okay. So there was that part of the exhibit. Over here we have our monkeys. The majority of living primates belong to three families, commonly called monkeys. Most monkeys are good climbers with slender bodies, well-developed tails, long arms and legs, and toes capable of grasping. Like man and the man-like apes, monkeys have the eye socket completely surrounded by bone. So here are some different monkeys. So this is a spider monkey. We have, these are old world monkeys. This is a proboscis monkey. This is a mandrill monkey, squirrel monkey, capuchin monkey. Ooh, I got a trivia question for you. There is a very popular movie set, and one of the characters in it is a capuchin monkey. He causes all kinds of havoc. What is the name of that movie? Okay. Let's see here.
Night Museum.
Yep, Night at the Museum. You are correct. So we have a marmoset up here and a howler monkey. There are our monkeys. Ooh, up here we have another skeleton too. A distinct order of aquatic mammals. The sea cow. So this is a sea cow skeleton. And then over here, we have a dugong skeleton. I'm not quite sure what a dugong is, but safe to say they're probably related to a sea cow. They look pretty similar. Okay. Over here, what do we got over here? So this looks like we are into the deers and the pigs. So right here we have a warthog, a mouse deer. Look how tiny those deer are. We have a common deer, a barking deer. Interesting. I've never heard of deer bark. How about you guys? And a pronghorn antelope. So it gives us a little bit of information on this. The plains-dwelling antelope is the only modern survivor of a family that was once abundant in North America. The blade-like bony horn cores are covered in life with horny sheaths that are shed and regrown each year. So even regular deers do this every year. I believe it's after they're out of rut. They shed their horns, and you'll find them laying around in the woods, and then they grow new ones the next year. And this is a cow. A couple different cows. So those are your cloven hoofed animals. All right, let's see here. I think that's all in bones 2. Yes. Let's go to bones 3, shall we? Odd-toed animals. So we have a rhinoceros and a tapir and a common zebra. So let's find out a little bit about these guys. The tapirs, rhinoceroses, and horses represent different families and together comprise the modern remnants of an order of ungulates, hoofed mammals, that was abundant in Tertiary time. Superficially, they resemble the even-toed ungulates, but the two groups are not closely related. The outstanding skeletal feature of this order is the large and symmetrical middle toe, which bears most of the body weight. In horses, it is the only functional toe, so they have a hoof. But in tapirs and rhinoceroses, also have side toes. In the dorsolumbar region of the backbone, there are at least 22 vertebrae, whereas even-toed hoofed mammals only have 19. The cheek teeth are large and quadrangular in shape, and the premolars closely resemble the molars. We have our Indian rhinoceros, there's our tapir, and there's a zebra. And up here, we also have a manatee. Very pretty animal. Okay, let's spin around, and here are our horses. So we have a dromedary camel, a llama, and a giraffe. I'm sorry, these are camels and giraffes. Let's get a little look at them. So how many humps can a camel have? We know they have one, but how many can they have? Okay, CJ.
Humps?
2. Yep, most
2.
camels have 2 humps, correct. 2 or 1, to be honest, but never more than 2. All right, we're heading into the other bones now. So let's check in over here, limbs and fins. So we have alligator here. We have a bat wing, the hand of a monkey. So animals in motion, it's showing us how a dolphin moves or a bird. Lots of different types of teeth and jaws, skulls. So not a whole lot in this particular roundabout. So let's keep going forward into bones 5. Ooh, I see some interesting creatures here. So let's go right here. We're going to go into underwater swimmers. And let's check out some different things. We have a loon, a merganser, a cormorant rat, an anhinga, a coot. Cannot see what that one is. Or that. But so these say aquatic swimmers. So aquatic swimmers, where do you think these birds spend most of their time if they're called aquatic swimmers? Anyone have any ideas?
In the water.
In the water, that's right. Aquatic is aqua. Good job. So you will commonly find these in lakes and rivers and oceans. So now let's head on here, over here, as long as we're in aquatic birds. These are semi-aquatic birds. So these are going to be birds that they spend a lot of time in water, but they also spend a good deal of time on land. So you have a flamingo, And it looks like a lark and a, well, you guys tell me, what's the name of the animal that's got a big pouch underneath? He saves the fish in Finding Nemo. Who has an idea?
Pelican.
Pelican, good job. Good job, Sean. All right, so next, our next type of bird, these are flightless birds, which means they don't fly. So we have a big old ostrich right here. We have an emu. Let's see if I can see what's on the wall here. I cannot, but I'm going to assume they are smaller versions of an emu and an ostrich. But if you can see, they've got very long legs and long necks. They're especially bred or created to be able to run fast and for long distances. Next, we are going to head over here to some land birds. The birds shown here are primarily land birds. They are members of 7 orders representing hundreds of different species. The gruiforms and the charidiforms are closely related with no clear separation between them. They have some members that are shorebirds and others that are strongly aquatic. Each of the other orders, falcons, galliforms, columbiaforms, and pistadiforms, is distinct, but it has uncertain affinities. So we have a kite bird. We have a parrot. We've all seen a parrot. And down here we have a dove. So these are all considered land birds. Is there anything up on the ceiling in this room? Doesn't appear to be. There we got some running birds. Another ostrich. Like I said, those guys can move very quickly. All right, so let's go into our next area. Zone 6. Ooh, buddy, we're getting into the crocodiles and alligators. Crocodiles in Tutara. The crocodilians of today are the last remnants of the Archosauria, an earlier widespread subclass which gave rise during the Mesozoic era to the dinosaurs, flying reptiles, and birds. The skeleton of the New Zealand tuatara is strikingly similar to the early Mesozoic reptiles and is frequently called a living fossil. Although they are placed in different subclasses, the crocodilians and tutaras have similar skull features that distinguish them from all living reptiles. So there's your crocodile. And over here is your alligator. You see they got a longer nose. It's not as rounded. Over here we got some turtles. We have sea turtles. The tortoise family. Who can tell me what is the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? Who knows the difference? Anyone know the difference? Sean, I see you talking. Do you know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise?
Tortoise is on the ground.
Tortoises are in the ground, so where's a turtle?
In water.
In water, that's right. Good job. You can't put a tortoise in the water. If you do, they will drown. They cannot swim at all. Whereas a turtle can come out of the water for a short time to lay eggs, but then they immediately go back into the water. Here's a soft-shelled turtle. So soft-shelled turtle means just that. They have very soft skin. And right here we have a leatherback turtle. In this remarkable sea turtle, the entire upper shell has been broken up into a mosaic of small plates set in leathery skin. The species is no longer considered as primitive or as ancestral, but appears to be a highly specialized form closely related to other true turtles. The leatherback turtle, which may attain a length of 8 feet, is the largest living turtle. That is a big guy. And over here, we have our snakes. You can see all the ribs and vertebrae a snake have. Let's see if we can figure out what kind of snakes we have here. Skeletons seen from below, showing vertebrae. Nope, it's not going to tell us, but I'm going to take a guess for as big as this one is and say this is a type of anaconda, which are the largest snakes on Earth. And then here are some venomous snakes. They're skeletons. Who can give me an example of a venomous snake? Can anyone tell me an example of a venomous snake?
Law snake.
Okay, I see another hand up. Good job. It's an example of a venomous snake.
Did they say rattlesnake yet?
Yeah, I don't think she did.
Rattlesnake.
We can't unmute because she.
Okay. Okay, Bracones, what's a venomous snake? I see your hand up.
King cobra snakes.
King cobras, good job. So there are lots of venomous snakes.
She got it. Some girl did.
So a little bit of information. The 3 families represented here, which include most of the snakes that are venomous, are characterized by the presence of venom, fangs in the front part of the lower jaw. So if you look up here, right there are your fangs. That's how they get out the venom. The Allopae and Hydropae are similar in having grooved immobile fangs that are smaller than the viper, but hydrophid snakes differ in being adapted to life in the sea. The mechanism for injecting venom is the most highly developed in the family Viperdae. The canal for transmission of the venom is closed and the bone bearing the large fang is hinged. The fang is folded back along the upper jaw except when striking. So they fold them teeth back like that. So that is just about it in this hall. So we're just about out of time. So if you can see, let's go back onto the second floor. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more exhibits in this particular hall to check out. So we will do that tomorrow. Like I said, we still have a good bit more bones to go through and we will check it out together. So before we go, does anybody have any questions? If you do, raise your hand and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Okay, I see Harrison's iPad has a question.
It's 100 some a month. She could afford. No, like I just wanted to tell you that too. $90.
Maybe not. Harrison, did you have a question?
Excuse me.
3 months supply, $90 for all 4 of them.
Okay. Can you tell me can somebody tell me what their favorite animal, the skeleton we saw so far? What's your favorite animal so far of all the skeletons we've seen? CJ?
Snakes.
Snakes? You like the snakes? Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like sloths though, and camels and giraffes. I like things like that. But thank you guys all for hanging out with me again today. Like I said, we'll check out some more stuff tomorrow though.
Thank you, Amanda. It's another fantastic tour on Explore and Travel and Leisure over in Steubenville. We had a lot of fun. You do a wonderful job giving your tours. I always enjoy the animals and learning about all the different types and, what they eat. And, yesterday I was talking a little bit about my favorite animals and the alligators and Wolverine. So I had my kids here and I asked them to go grab their favorite animals as well to share with you. So I'll have Vito go first.
My favorites are cheetahs
Yes.
and turtles.
Yeah, I like turtles too.
There's our sea turtle.
I do see the turtle.
There it is. All right. And then Gianni, what's your favorite?
Rhino.
The rhino.
The rhino, yeah. We saw the skeletons of both rhinos and turtles today.
Yeah, we did. It was perfect. So great job. A lot of fun. Enjoyed the tour. We'll continue again tomorrow, checking out different things around the Smithsonian again, and continue to have fun in Steubenville. So join us again here in about 15 minutes or so at the top of the hour when we come back to you live from Heath, Ohio, and joining Together We Grow and learning about some cool different gardening. And it's perfect timing because the weather's about to break and it's going to get a lot nicer outside. So we're looking forward to that and can't wait. So see you really soon.
Bye, everyone.